Hello everybody and welcome back to Friday's maths lesson. It is Funky Friday. So today we're going to do a quick recap of those 3D shapes we were learning about yesterday. So earlier in the week we learned about those 2D, those flat shapes. Today we're thinking about those three-dimensional shapes. Those ones where we talked about the faces, we talked about the edges and those vertices, those corners. So I'm going to quickly warm up your brains by showing them to you and you're going to tell me what they're called. Are you ready? Okay, ready for the first one? It is what is it? It's a cuboid. That's right, well done, a cuboid. And the next one is that's right, it's a cylinder, Fantastic. And this one here is that's right, a cube is a cube. And I've got what's this one? That's right, a square-based pyramid, a pyramid with a square base. Fantastic. This one is that's right, it's a cone, Now I had one more on my table, but just as I started to record, I heard something rolling and rolling and rolling, and it fell off the table. And now I can't find it. What 3D shape would I have had that could have rolled off the table and just didn't stop? It would have been hard for the cube to start rolling with all those edges and those corners, those vertices. So it wasn't the cube. Wasn't that pyramid? Pyramid would have found it quite tricky to roll. What shape might have rolled off my table? What do you think of it? That's right, it was the sphere. The sphere rolled off my table and it's disappeared. But luckily today I was looking for some 3D shapes that were real things in my house, like when we did our shape hunt yesterday. And I found this. I found Twinkle Toes' food ball that he chases around. Here it is, and it knocks the biscuits out. So what 3D shape is this one? That's right, it's a sphere. So we have a sphere, a cone, a square-based pyramid, a cube, a cylinder, and a cuboid. All of our 3D shapes that we looked at yesterday. Now, I am going to show you my screen, okay? We're going to do a quick recap again. So here are the 3D shapes that we looked at yesterday. I'm going to point at them and you're going to tell me what they are. So, are you ready? This one is that's right, it's a sphere. This one is a cone. Over here, this one is that's right, square-based pyramid. Here we've got a cylinder and a cube and a cuboid. Well done, fantastic. All 3D shapes. Now, in a second, I'm going to ask you to play the game that you played yesterday. Sorry, the day before. It was our 2D shape back-to-back game. So, just like with our 2D shapes, when we went back-to-back, you pick one, you described it to your partner. You're going to have a go at that today. Okay, so, it still says 2D shapes. It shouldn't say 2D shapes. It should say the properties of the 3D shape. There we go. Okay, now, it's a bit hard with 3D shapes to remember all of those properties. So, yesterday, I sent this over. It had the name of the 3D shape and its properties. Okay, it talked to you about those corners and those edges, the vertices and how many flat faces it had. So if you're finding it a bit tricky today, it'd be really good to use this whilst you're playing the game. Okay, so you can either print it off, you've got to print it home. If you haven't, that's great, just pop it on the screen. So while you're playing, you can have your shape and have a look. Also, it's hard sometimes to imagine those 3D shapes. So just like you did yesterday, before you start this game, you might need to collect up some 3D shapes from your game yesterday so you can play. So I've collected not just these shapes that we have at school, but also some real 3D shape things, so items that are 3D shapes. I'm going to describe to you what my shape is, and you're going to guess, and you can do the same with your shapes at home. So I found a real 3D item. I don't think you can see it. That's good. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what it's called, what the name of the 3D shape is, and I'm not going to tell you what the item is, but I am going to describe its properties. Okay, so it has two flat faces, two flat surfaces. Oh, gave you a bit of a clue there with my hand actions. It has one curved surface, and it has two curved edges. What shape could be? Now, if you're finding it a bit tricky, what you can do is you can have a look down here and look at what that might have been describing. Okay, so it had two curved edges around the ends. It has one curved face around the outside too, and two flat faces too. Have you worked it out? I hope you said it's a cylinder, Miss Brown, and I have found one of these. What's this for my kitchen? Anyone know what this vegetable is? It's a leek, and leeks are cylinders, okay? Because it has what I described, that one curved surface, one curved surface around here, okay? One curved face has those two flat faces. Can you see the flat faces here? Yeah. And the curved edges are the edge of my leek here. Okay, so you can play it with real items. I've got another one. I found it in my kitchen too. Okay, it has no edges and no corners, this one. However, that's too easy, same as brown. No corners, no vertices, no sharp edges. It's a sphere. It's a sphere. And look, I found some red grapes in my kitchen. Grapes are spheres. Okay. Then it will be somebody else's turn. So other things you can find around the house. I found something else around my house that is a 3D shape. I'm going to try not to spill this. Found it in my cupboard. Okay. It's a bit tricky to describe this one. So again, finding it hard, look in front of you. How could I describe it? Okay. So it's got 6 flat surfaces, 6 flat faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 8 corners or 8 vertices. And it could be one of 2 if you're thinking about it that I'm thinking of now. But not all of those edges are the same. It's got 12 of them and they're not all the same. What could it be? It was a hard one, that one. It's a cuboid. And here I've got some corn flour out my cupboard and the packet is a cuboid. Now, today's is a tricky challenge. It's really hard to use those properties, I know. So give it your best shot, okay? Another thing you could do, another activity you could do, if you think, oh, it's a bit tricky describing all those properties, that's fine. It is a bit of a challenge today. You could have a go at this. Now, you may not have all the things you need to do this, but give it your best shot. So you can collect 3D shapes around the house, or you might have some 3D shaped blocks. That's fine. If you don't have 3D shaped blocks, use the things you collect around your house. You're going to build some things. So I can use my corn flour and my leek and my grapes and other things I found, Twinkle Toes' cat ball, to build a little tower. Okay. Once you've built your tower, you're going to talk about the shapes you can see. So I've just got a very simple tower here. It's much easier to hold to the camera. So I look at my tower and I describe my tower. So it has 1 cuboid and 1 cylinder. Okay. But if you use lots of different items, it will be making lots of different things. There's one here on the screen. So here's something, these people have got 3D shapes. Like I say, don't worry if you haven't got 3D shapes, and that's fine. You can use real things, or I have put some links to some games and things you can do as well on your screen. So at the end of this lesson, your grown-up can help you find those games. This is just an extra activity if you want to. So I'm looking at this here. They've built a tower. I'm looking to see there are cuboids. There are cuboids. Have a look at their tower. How many cuboids can you see? So have a look. Is that a cuboid? 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 I think I can see a cuboid here and a cuboid here. So there are 2 cuboids. Well done if you said 2. The next one it asks us for is how many cylinders they have in their model. How many cylinders? That's right. There's 1 here. So there is 1 cylinder. 1 cylinder. Then it says there are pyramids. How many pyramids can you see? Look very carefully. That's right. I can see 1 pyramid. 1 pyramid there. And finally, it says there are cubes. How many cubes can you see? You should be able to see by what's left. That's right. There is a cube here and a cube here. That means there are 2 cubes. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. There are 2 cubes there. So your tasks for today are you can either, or you can do more than 1, but 1 task is playing our back-to-back game. So you get your 3D shape, you don't show the person behind you, you describe it using the properties, and the other person guesses what your 3D shape is. That's 1 activity. Remember, if you find it tricky, use what I sent you yesterday to help you find those properties. Another activity you could do is you could build. Okay, so you can use real 3D things you found around the house, or if you're lucky enough to have 3D building blocks, use those and talk about the shapes you can see. Also, in the link today, there are some games you can play online, okay? So it asks you things about 3D shapes, it asks you about the properties, and your grown-ups can put you on those games. So I'm really proud of you, worked really hard on shape this week. Well done for being perseverance penguins and doing your absolute best. And I will see you next week. Have a good weekend when it comes. Bye.